Hey everybody. So I'm going to go through the process of how to set up a virtual open house. We're going to use a couple tools. One is called youcanbook.me, which is what we're going to go to first. Youcanbook.me. This is a website that allows you to have users schedule appointments. It also has a nice integration with Zoom video conferencing, and so we can use that to schedule a virtual open house where you walk around with a camera and lead potential clients through the open house remotely, and they don't have to actually come to the home. So we can go to You Can Book to Me. We just got to sign up. I already have an account with my closings email, so I'm going to use my personal email just for this demo. So you put in your email there. It says you got mail. You need to go log into your email account. Go with the right one. You'll get an email like this that says, hey, you're almost there. So you got to verify your email. You do that, you'll be back at youcanbook.me. Just put in your name. And whatever best describes you. I think real estate is down here. And then you can put in a password. And accept their terms and hit continue. And they are kind of picky about how good your password is, so. All right, there we go. They're a little picky on passwords, so make sure you put in a pretty unique one. All right, so then we need to integrate with a calendar so they can schedule things. In this case, I'm going to integrate with Google Calendar. Just use the same one. You have to say allow. It basically allows them to edit your calendar. All right, so now we're in on the You Can Book Me part. So I'm going to go ahead. We also need an account at Zoom. So if you don't already have a Zoom account, go over there and sign up for a Zoom account. And Zoom does a confirmation thing too. All right, so we can activate that account. All right, so now I get a Zoom account and a You Can Book Me account. So back in You Can Book Me, we can start creating my first booking page. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and integrate with Zoom. So go up to your name here and hit integrations. You can scroll down to the Zoom integration and hit connect. We'll go over to Zoom. Now, depending on how you have your account set up, this will be different. For me, I can hit pre-approve and pre-approve myself. If you already have an account under Artie for co-listings, then you may not be able to do this directly. It may be a button that says, basically emails Artie, and then he'll have to hit pre-approve for you. So either way, you get through that, and that's all that's required to get Zoom connected. All right, so now we're ready to get started. So if you go back to the dashboard, we can start creating our first booking page. So we can change all this stuff whenever, so you don't have to worry about getting this perfect the first time. But the page title should be something like the name of your open house. So 1234 Weston Drive Open House. And then you can name it 1234 Weston or whatever. Basically, try to do a part of your address, something that makes sense here. This is going to be the link that you share with people. In this case, it's going to be whatever you put up front here, .you can book me. You're going to have to be fairly unique because everything somebody else has used doesn't have to be unique here, but most of the addresses should be fine. The logo is what's going to go into this circle picture right here. So actually a picture of the house I think would work pretty well there. And then just somewhere there's also a paragraph of text, set letter, and then you can put offered by co-listing real estate or whatever in there. You can put a picture of the house here. I don't have a picture of the house super available, so I'm just going to put the co-listings square in there for now, or the co-listings house. All right, then create booking page. All right, so now we got our open house page. And we just need to change a few settings and we'll be done. There's a little walkthrough you can skip out. All right, so over here is what people are going to see. So it gives you kind of a live preview of what the page is going to look like. If we go through the different things, here's where that title is here that we can change. Here's the link again, picture you can change here under general. But here is the content of the paragraph below that. So you can do something like, welcome to the virtual open house for 1234 Weston Drive in Erie, Colorado. Sign up below to have me, Brian, walk you through the home over a Zoom video chat. And you can be better in having a nice description, but basically something about this is allowing us to do a contact list open house. Great. All right, and it typically automatically saves everything you do here. So this is linked to my Rhinemeld Google Calendar. All right, so then times and availability. So by default, it sets it up as 8 to 5 every day, which is not what we want. So typically open house is going to be one day. And so you can just go in here and say we're going to have open house on Saturday from 9 until, let's say, 1. Okay. And then we have a break, so I'm planning on taking lunch at like 11:30. So we can do from 11:30 to noon, we'll have a break. So we'll block off that section. Now you'll notice this was setting up in hour blocks right now, so it has got a 9, 10, and 12 block. We'll change that on the next page. So this may be good enough. If you're doing this in the week beforehand, and you pick like a Saturday, and you set it up that week, you won't have to use these paid features of setting a fixed start date and fixed end date. If you want to set this up, a couple weeks in advance, you will need to do this. It's $10 a month for You Can Book Me, so not a big deal. So you may have to set the fixed start date of the day of the event and put the fixed end date of the next day, the day after, and that'll limit it to just the one day. All right, durations. So this is where we go with blocks. So this is how long you want each of your options to be. So I think 20 minutes is probably a good amount of time for a virtual open house. You can put that 30 minutes or 15 minutes if you think you can get them done that quickly. I think 20 minutes is probably going to be a good amount of time. That'll get you 3 per hour. So this would allow you to do, in this case, 10 different slots for a virtual open house. Other paid features is you can set a pad before and after. The problem with that is it's an even amount of time before and after. It's like 5 minutes. That would be like 25-minute blocks. I think that might get kind of awkward. So it might be limiting the number of people you can get in per hour. And you don't want multiple bookings per time slot, probably. This is the minimum amount of time beforehand that you allow them to book. So like at 7 a.m. it would cut off being able to book the 9 a.m. slot. So you can make that a little bit shorter if you want to get people in last minute. And when does the week start? Today. That's pretty much all we have to say to set up our page. So this is what our page is going to look like. We've got our photo of the house, we've got the name, we've got a nice description, and we've got times that people can click on. So the only other things we need to change is on the booking form here. You probably want to add phone number as a choice. So you want to make sure we've got their phone number on there and make it required. And you probably want to make their last name also required. So if we go to last name and edit that and make that a required field as well. So now after doing that, we've got first name, last name, email, and phone number as field, and it's got a nice little I'm not a robot thing too. So that gets us through our booking form. After booking, this is the page that the person sees after they've scheduled an appointment. It kind of just says, hey, you scheduled the 9 to 9:20 a.m. appointment. Thanks, your appointment is booked. And then it's got some add to your calendar links as well, and you can customize everything this says here. It's not important to hear they have the Zoom link. I wouldn't think that they're probably not going to have this page open still when they need to get to the Zoom meeting. but we will have to add that Zoom link into the other ones. I'll show you how to do that in a second. We're not taking payments in this, so that's not relevant. So the only other section that matters here is notifications. And the important ones are after the booking made. This is the email that gets sent to you, and this is the email that gets sent to them. So in each of these, we want to kind of customize this to make it pretty or say whatever you want. But the important detail that we need to add is we need to add a link to the Zoom meeting, and it doesn't do this automatically. Okay, so the click here to join needs to be first. And the link actually goes after, so my fault there. And this part's in square brackets. Yeah, this part is in parentheses. And there we go. Now we got a nice link that says click here to join the Zoom meeting. So this is what we're going to copy and paste a couple of places. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that into my clipboard. And we are good. So right now this is set that they get this immediately after they book. That's great. It goes to them. Or exactly, this is to me. This is the email to me. So this is going to go to my email. It has the title, just like, and it's going to look just like this, which is perfect. All right, so go back here. Then the email going to them, we need to give them the Zoom link as well, right? So I put that right at the top where they can see it, obviously. Okay. And if you click over there, now they're going to get that click here to join the Zoom meeting link as well. And we can configure all of this. So just one more email to do this. If the other thing we want to do is if the reminders beforehand, so they're going to get a reminder email the day of. It defaults to an hour before. That's probably okay, but you might want to cut it down to something like 30 minutes before. And then in here as well, we want to have that same link so they can click here to join the Zoom meeting as well. Then we're all done. That's all that's required. We now have a website that works. If we go here to the 1234 Weston, you can book me. Here it is. We can click on the time. They have to enter their information, and they hit confirm, and then you're good. You should get an email. They should get an email. Everything will be set up, and when it's that time on Saturday at 9 a.m., you can both join in the video call, and you can have your virtual open house. The only other thing you might want to look at is styles and appearance. You can change the color. It just makes it bluer. A little bit more cool listingsy, but that's it. And other than that, we're good. So then you just have to share this link with people on social media or wherever and tell them to go sign up for your virtual open house, and you should be good to go.